It started with a bark that shattered the silence. Not just any bark, a sharp, guttural warning bark that echoed off the damp tile walls of the abandoned high school's locker room like a war cry. The flashlight wavered in Officer Maya Delgado's hand as she spun around, heart slamming against her ribcage. Her canine partner, Ranger, a 6-year-old German shepherd with amber eyes full of purpose, stood rigid, hackles raised, teeth bared at a rusted floor drain half swallowed by decades of grime. The room smelled of mildew and forgotten memories, the flickering beam of her light catching glimpses of moldy benches and broken mirrors. Ranger's bark deepened as he poured frantically at the drain, refusing to back down. That was when she noticed it, the metal grate wasn't sealed like the others. It had been moved. And beneath it, a narrow, pitch-black passage descended into the earth like the mouth of some ancient secret. Before we go further, if you believe in kindness, second chances, or the powerful loyalty of animals like Ranger, please take a second to like this video, comment with your thoughts, share with someone who needs to hear this story, and subscribe to Justice on Paws. Your support helps us bring these real, emotional stories to life. 2 days earlier, Maya had almost quit the force. The pressure had been building for months. The precinct was short-staffed, the cases piling up, and her most recent investigation, a string of child disappearances near the city's edge, had hit a dead end. She had sat at her desk, head in her hands, wondering if all the long nights and emotional weight were worth it. Ranger had nudged her then, resting his head on her lap, grounding her in a way words never could. She hadn't said a word, but something in his eyes told her not to give up just yet. That week, a strange tip came through from a janitor who had worked at East Hollow High before it was shuttered after a fire 5 years ago. He remembered seeing a man, tall, thin, hooded, slipping in through a service door more than once, usually late at night. Maya didn't expect much when she responded to the report, chalking it up to urban legends and paranoia. But when she and Ranger swept the building, the dog's behavior shifted the moment they neared the old gym. His nose hit the floor, his tail went stiff, and he led her unerringly to the locker room, specifically, that forgotten drain. With trembling fingers, Maya pried the metal cover loose, revealing a dark tunnel lined with old brick and rusted pipework. The air rising from below was cold and foul, laced with something sour that made her stomach churn. But Ranger didn't hesitate, he started to climb down. Swallowing her fear, Maya followed. The descent was narrow and treacherous, the shaft leading them into a winding underground corridor that seemed to stretch for miles beneath the city. Her flashlight's beam danced over walls scrawled with crude graffiti, pipes wrapped in insulation now hanging like dead vines, and debris that looked disturbingly recent. As they crept forward, the sound of dripping water was joined by something else, faint, rhythmic thuds, and a soft whimpering that made Maya stop cold. They followed the sounds to a rusted door, nearly invisible against the mold-darkened brick. Ranger whined softly, pouring at the base. Taking a deep breath, Maya pushed it open. Inside was a room no larger than a shed, but what it held made her knees buckle. Mattresses lined the floor, filthy, torn, and clearly used. Crates of water bottles, canned food, and children's clothing were stacked in one corner. And there, in the shadows, a child, no more than 9, sat frozen, eyes wide with terror. Ranger moved first, crawling on his belly to approach the boy with gentleness that only a dog could summon. The child didn't run. He reached out with shaking hands and buried his face in Ranger's fur, sobbing silently. They weren't alone down there. Over the next 2 hours, Maya and a backup team would uncover 3 more children in adjacent chambers, all alive, all terrified, and all missing for weeks. The hidden passage had been a makeshift prison, concealed perfectly beneath the very ground families had walked for years. And the man responsible? Caught 2 days later using security footage and scent tracking, an unassuming custodian at a nearby warehouse with a record that had slipped through the cracks. But what truly broke Maya was hearing from the kids. They said they had heard someone, or something, outside a few days before. A dog barking. Scratching. Trying to reach them. Ranger had sensed them even before Maya knew to look. In the days that followed, the city hailed Maya as a hero. But she knew better. It was Ranger who had listened. Ranger who had led. Ranger who had reminded her that even in the darkest places, the light can still break through. Weeks later, Maya visited one of the rescued children at his new foster home. His name was Eli. He had drawn a picture of a big dog with golden eyes and a woman holding a flashlight. Beneath it, in shaky letters, he had written, "My guardian." Sometimes, the stories that touch our hearts most deeply aren't loud or flashy. They are found in the soft padding of Paws through darkness, in the silent bravery of a scared child, and in the unshakable bond between a woman and her dog who refused to stop searching. If this story moved you, even just a little, please like this video, share it with someone who needs to believe in hope again, and comment below with your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to Justice on Paws for more true stories of courage, compassion, and the animals who help bring light to the shadows. Because sometimes, heroes have 4 legs, a wagging tail, and a bark that refuses to be ignored.